Hey guys, Lucas here from Phillis Ford in Christie's Beach, South Australia. Just wanted to send you a quick walk around video of our 2016 Ford Ranger XLS. Now this one here is a June built, July complied XLS, so it is pre-DPF, which is fantastic naturally. But I wanted to take a quick walk around and I guess show you the vehicle's quality and condition a bit closer up, or you know, in this kind of manner, you get a more first-person perspective, like you're walking around the vehicle yourself. So I find it really helpful, particularly when you're looking at the vehicle that you can't come down and test drive. So you know, like I said to you on the phone, there are some little scrapes and scraps around the car, which I'll happily highlight for you, and I thought that's probably the best way to do it. So as you can see on the front here, all four alloys are in pretty well brand new condition with brand new Falcon Wild Peak tyres. So a good bit of meat around the car there, keeping you safe on the trail or the road. We've got the aftermarket nudge bar fitted up the front here, and the previous owner did have some 9-inch spotlights fitted, but he's removed them prior to trading the car. Again, car presents very, very nicely, both inside and outside. The inside is actually immaculate. It's probably almost new car condition, and even underneath the car as well, which I'll happily get on my hands and knees in a moment and show you just how tidy the underneath of the vehicle is. The previous owner used this to tow his boat. The boat, I think, you know, somewhere around the $90,000 mark, over $100,000 when he got it. So a very nice boat. So the car's been treated very well and looked after very well to ensure that the boat is safe whilst on the car. And I think it really does sort of show in just how tidy the car's been kept. So I'll try and get this as best I can in camera. On the right hand front of the bumper, you can tell that there've been some scratches that have been repaired. I don't know how well you can see it in the picture, but if I do this, for instance, you cannot see my reflection across this bit of paint, where up here you can. So the paint down this side of the bumper has definitely been done, probably by spray paint or something like that, to try and tidy it up, and they have done a good job, but it doesn't look amazing. Underneath the vehicle here, you can see there's a bit of overspray on the black strip that runs across the length of the bumper. So happy to have a look at addressing that if need be, but it still does look quite presentable. And then as we move to the back of the vehicle here, I think it was in the left-hand rear quarter or bumper it is. There's a couple of scrapes and scratches just here as well, and again, it's very minimal. There's no dent or anything like that to the bumper itself. It's just simply some paint transfer and scratches, so happy to have a look at that. Up the top here, we've got the EGR tub liner, tonneau cover. So I'll just zoom out so you can see. There's a little pull cord underneath here. Pull that and it unlatches. You can just flip the top over, and you can do it again and again and again. But inside here, we've got all of the canvas seat covers that the customer had on the car. They are quite heavy duty and hard wearing. You might choose to bin them, you might choose to keep them, but they're there just simply in case you want them, as are the floor mats. And then over on the left hand side of the tub here, we've got a dual 12 volt socket voltage reading, and that's protected by a 15 amp as well. So just keeps things a little bit safer if you are plugging anything in the back of the car. But that's there and it is usable. Power cable just goes down through the tub liner and it trails back to the car under the tub. And sports guard tub liner in the car as well, keeping things protected. Fold this one back over and lock it in place. Nice and easily. Coming around the vehicle to the interior. Inside, like I said, is almost new car condition. It's honestly phenomenal how clean the inside of this car is. I don't know whether the previous customer had children or mature children or anything like that, but there's no debris in the carpets, there's no marks in the seats. It looks like it's not been used. It is a very, very tidy interior overall. And then in the front of the car, again, jump up and inside. Just shut the door, get rid of that chiming. Inside the car, again, incredibly tidy. And I'll just scan across. There's really nothing that sticks out apart from on this door handle here. There's a couple of little grazes. But otherwise, the interior is, like I said, pretty well new car condition. There's no marks in the roof lining. There's no scratches in the dash or in the, kick panels or the glove box. Like, it really is just a very tidy car. Now, the previous owner did use this to tow an incredibly expensive boat, so he went with the best that money could buy, in my opinion. Red Arc Tow Pro Elite brake controller, and that does work flawlessly. I'll just put my foot on the brake pedal and start the car up. Wait until it goes to its little process. Beautiful. I must admit it does start very well as well. Some diesels tend to crank, or you know, you got to wait for the glow plugs to warm up, and don't get me wrong, I'll always give it that 10 seconds for the glow plugs to warm up, but it does start very, very well for a diesel vehicle. Being that you guys are actually in a Ranger at the moment, you probably feel very at home in the car, but obviously there's a lot of features that you can play with through the steering wheel and through the entertainment unit. They're all quite basic features, but they work very well. So I must admit they are nice to have in the car, and the Rangers are a very comfy cab, which you guys would know as well. So they are truly a lovely vehicle. Now up here, I don't know whether you can see, I've got a very funny feeling that you can't see. Try and zoom in on that mirror. To me, I've got an incredibly clear photo of the fence that's just behind my car, because if I turn the reversing camera on, you get those super handy guidelines. What I might do, let me just pull forwards. I'll see if we can get a better visual for you guys. So if I go reversing camera, you can still see the guidelines, but you can't really see where I'm going. The mirror might just be that little bit too. Oh, there you are. You can see, if I get my hand out of the way, you can see the two cars behind me, and it is a very high definition photo, or video should I say. So the reversing camera in this is absolutely fantastic. I would imagine it would be great if you're towing as well, trying to hook the trailer up and things like that. But very, very, very nice addition to the car. Like I said, basic features inside the car are quite easily usable. Service history and everything like that. I've got all the original books down here. Now, service book, I know there's there's a few stamps missing. So the 3000 has been stamped. Let's have a quick flick through while I can show you. So 3000k stamped in 2017. And then it did 7000k's in 2017 December. 30,000 wasn't stamped. 45,000 wasn't stamped. 60,000, we did the service here at Phillis Ford at 66,000, and then it's due again at 81,000, and it's only done 74,500 at the moment. All of the services that are missing, the previous owner actually took to a mechanic quite close to my house, actually, called Southern Auto Care, and I think it was Southern Auto Care that did the first service. This one. So it was actually Southern Auto Care that did the first service there. You can see their stamp in the book. Now, Southern Auto Care, I've only actually recently, unfortunately for the customer, only recently closed up. And in terms of service history, so naturally the book hasn't been stamped. The previous owner was provided with invoices every time he had his service done. But the owners of Southern Auto Care, the gentleman was, let's say, getting on in age, and his son didn't want to take over the business. So they've since closed and packed up, and the previous owner of that business is now doing a lap of Australia. So I've tried contacting him. The previous owner of this vehicle has tried contacting him, but unfortunately we haven't been successful in doing so that we can get a copy of the invoices from when the car was serviced there. So it does, or has had, a full service history, but there is no record of that. And naturally, I'm not going to write anything in the book to suggest otherwise without that company saying so, but mechanically the car is beautiful. Now, whether that bothers you guys or not, I'm not sure. You know, it may bother some people. It certainly wouldn't bother me with a car this tidy, so to speak, and this low in kilometers. But I thought I'd just jump under the car for you as well and show you how tidy the car is. So in terms of suspension, everything looks pretty well brand new. Let's see if I can get my phone in there for you. Everything looks pretty well brand new suspension componentry wise. Don't get me wrong, it's mucky, but it is in very good order. Underneath the vehicle, there's no oil, there's no surface rust, there's no dings, scrapes, or anything like that. Even the back plate is in relatively good condition. It's probably cleaner. Look at the inside of the wheels. The inside of the wheels are probably cleaner than the outside of my vehicle. In the center of the vehicle, you know, even when looking at things like the exhaust, transfer case and everything like that, there's pretty well no surface rust, which is quite rare for most four-wheel drives. but again, very, very tidy underneath the vehicle. Especially for a car that has done the towing of a boat, you would assume that there's going to be a bit of surface rust somewhere, but there really isn't. It's been very well cared for, and every time it's been in salt water, it's been washed very thoroughly, correctly, which is great to see because it makes the car last a hell of a lot longer. Even underneath the vehicle here, you can see there's no marks on the diff pumpkin. It's never bottomed out anywhere, and the exhaust, like I said, is pretty well new condition. Spare tyre underneath the car looks fantastic. The wheel is in good condition. Even the tow bar kit, there's very little surface rust underneath that. And there's next to no rust on the ball, which again is a solid indication of a car that's been very well cared for, particularly when used for these things. So again, if it is of concern to you, completely appreciate that, but truthfully speaking, it is a lovely car, and it certainly wouldn't concern me knowing the business that cared for the car. But I guess that's also easy for me to say, knowing the customer that traded the car, and as the consultant looking at trying to sell it. But again, a little beautiful car. If you guys have got any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. I will open the engine bay very quickly for you and just show you where the DPF system would sit if it was DPF. But naturally, we know that this one isn't because it's June built, and DPFs came out in the October built onwards vehicles, and this was complied in July. Open the bonnet there. Beautiful 3.2. Down here, just near the exhaust, you would see the DPF system and all the wiring associated, and it's just simply not there. Just got the nice turbo sitting there, easily accessible should you ever need to get to it. Dipstick, alternator sitting really nice and high if you ever need to go through water crossings. Really nice sealed air filter box. Just all in all, a very tidy car. Everything is as it should be. So, again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. I would love to speak with you about the car further, and I will do so tomorrow. But for now, I hope that I've given you enough information to sit back and talk about it. Again, it was Lucas here from Phillis Ford in Christie's Beach, South Australia, and I'll speak with you guys soon. Cheers.